Well, there you go.
We'll see if everyone,
Looks
if
like
I
you
bumped
might
their
have-
day off, though.
Sorry?
We'll see, oh, it was, just bigger. And,
So there's people in the waiting room.
okay. And then we can admit, admit, admit. Okay, we're back, sorry about that. I think I had transferred the host responsibility to Jennifer, so she could do a screen share, and then when she dropped off.
Ah,
Right.
So-
I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, but good to know. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That reclaim host, you can give it away and take it back.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
All right, so we're all back on here. Still have a forum. So we'll just continue on with the agenda. So the next item on the agenda is just an update on dam activities. Right now, we have proposals, we have cost estimates to do the engineering and permits, which we're hoping to do this year. And then do the repairs next year. The engineering studies or scoping of the project was about 55,000. And that includes all the permits and all the usual stuff to prepare for that. And then the estimate for the actual do the repairs is $150,000. So the plan was, so right now we're looking for funding to do the engineering study. We're looking for that $55,000. I've approached the CPA and asked for 25% matching funds, which I think they're going to give us. We'll know in a week or two. And then it has to go to town meeting to be voted on. But I think that's a good source. The other 75% would come from the Office of Dam Safety in terms of a grant. That funds haven't been released yet, and it's about the thought is that in about 2 weeks we should know whether there's going to be funding. That's 75% matching funding. If there isn't, I'm not sure what the course of action is. You know, what we're gonna do to look for those funds, whether we go to the town or whether, you know, what happens. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. So, GZA is the company, you know, it's our dam company, and they're gonna fill out the applications for that 75% grant. So that's going along, you know, going along nicely, but it's wait and see time. The other thing is that the phase 1 inspection for 2025 has been scheduled for sometime in May. That's when we have the dam inspection every 2 years. I've also sent them a note to remind them to contact Howard. When I get a firm date on the inspection, I'll also contact Howard so he can participate. Historically, Walter always, as part of the EMT, he always participated, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll send a note to Lenny, to see if he's interested in participating, and, let's see here, so that's gonna happen in May. I think I mentioned this the last meeting, but if I didn't, we have confirmation, from the state that our activities on the dam, including monitoring, you know, adjusting the water level, is exempt from the Chapter 91 license, permits and licensing, so that we can basically do what we've been doing for the past 30 years. And that exemption saves the town like tens of thousands of dollars, lots of money we save by getting that exemption. Not, and the GZA was the one who drove that exemption. We drove all the paperwork to get that. What percentage do I get for that? I'll have to discuss that with the selectmen, get it on their agenda.
It was only my little notes that I took on my own, and we're able to get it.
Yep, you did well.
We lost Art.
Okay.
One thing on this, remind them that work on the spillway will only be done between November 1st and April 1st. I mean, if
Yeah.
they don't know that, if they come out and think they're gonna do it in the middle of summer, they're gonna,
I think the idea is that the idea is this year we're getting funding, looking for funds for.
yes,
this,
I understand that.
And so,
They should, will be aware.
yeah, I think so. I hope they are.
Yeah.
Any other questions about the dam? What's going on? You mentioned the beaver.
That's the next thing. That's not really the dam, but.
Okay, there's no more questions about the dam. Let's go to item 8 on the agenda, which is, items that, weren't anticipated prior to the meeting.
So,
Okay,
one on the dam at, the culvert on Lakeview Road. They really only got until the 1st of April to take it out. Otherwise, the problem is gonna be, the water's gonna be the same level on both sides, which is gonna make it a lot more difficult to do. I had mentioned to the highway department last fall about this, and if he couldn't do it, I was suggesting that he hire somebody. I've heard nothing on that. I talked to the town administrator last month about it, and I've heard nothing on that either, so. You know, if they wait until after 1 April, there's two problems, working in 2 foot of water on both sides of the dam. And the items that they're taking out, they're not gonna get them all because they're gonna be floating down into the lake. And there are, there's at least 2 and possibly 3 logs that are caught inside the dam itself. There was a raft that was upstream that was made out of 4 logs that are probably about that long and 10 foot long. One of them is crossways inside the culvert, another one is partially outside but in there. And the third one that was on the dam, I don't see it, so it must be inside the 4th one is out in the lake.
so the highway department has to remove
Well, in the past, the highway department has always done this, but if they can't, then somebody should do it, because when they break, there's gonna be police, you know?
and
And the sooner they get rid of that before summertime, the better.
and so that deadline is by when you raise the level of the lake.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do it when the ice is out,
Yeah.
but the ice is gonna be out before 1 April, I'm thinking, but even if it isn't, you know, you can wait a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
Because the law says I have to be 1 April.
Does anyone have any recommendations?
Twenty years ago, I started on it myself, but I can't do it.
Is this a compound thing? Do they have to weigh in on it? Conservation?
Yeah, probably again. Because if they'd done what you said, for the years, if they'd have kept it clean, we wouldn't be in this problem.
Yeah, I could contact them, but, I could contact highway department, but I'm not sure if it's gonna, be effective, any more effective than you contacting them.
We can try again, but yeah. There's a problem there,
Um,
not with me, but with doing it.
what's, so if you raise the lake, what's the downfall here? If you, if they
Well,
don't do anything?
Right now, it's 2 foot low, water's going through the culvert, probably about that deep.
Yeah.
If I raise the lake up, it's gonna be 2 foot higher.
Yep.
It's gonna be right up, so it's gonna be the same on both sides.
So the dam will be underwater.
Well, it'll be right at the water level, the top of it, and, now that they've left it all winter long, it's gonna be harder to take out than if they'd have done it last fall, because they packed all that mud and everything around it, and it's,
And right now, the dam is really a threat to the culvert.
Well, not so much to the culvert, it is to the lake itself, because the pollution coming off the dam,
Yeah,
and those people that live right below it. And also when they break up the dam, it's gonna be, but the sooner they get it done, the cleaner it's gonna be come summertime in that area, so.
Last time, the, a dam was taken out, the Board of Health had to give a, give permission for it, and the, one of the terms was take it out and keep it clear.
Yeah,
And so,
well, we
would
had
it
a,
be helpful for the Board of Health to write something
Yeah.
saying that you're not, keeping to the terms of your permit and ordering them to take
I
it
think
out?
the problem was we had a highway department change,
Yeah,
and priority is not what it used to be.
last year, I talked to that new guy, and he wanted to have a fecal removal permit. And we would have written it for him, but he got somebody who's gonna use one of those forbidden traps, those county view traps. And we did not approve that, because that is only for a real true emergency.
Yeah,
And after that, apparently he didn't do anything else, and when I reached out to him, he said he was working on it with the select board, actually. And kind of didn't seem to want to have anything to do with us.
that's what I was afraid.
Sorry?
That's what I was afraid,
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, I don't recall I don't recall that happening, so I don't know.
you don't recall what happened? You said.
That he tried to work out something with the select board, but I don't remember that happening.
Said that's what he was doing or gonna do, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I don't think it happened.
Hmm. That's entirely possible. Well, but my question is, would it be helpful for the Board of Health to order somebody to, clear that in accordance with the permit we wrote?
I think you guys have more sway than I do, or than LRAP. So I think it'd be worthwhile for you to.
And would I address that, I suppose, to the highway department?
I think so, is that, how?
Yeah, they're the ones that used to do it. So the longer they wait, the harder it is to take out.
Um, if they don't do anything, and raise the lake back up to its level, will beavers then make the dam higher?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't know, we've never done this before, but usually
Right, but
it's
it might
gone.
be high enough for them to be satisfied.
Yeah,
with
but
the way
because
it is.
it's not gonna affect where they're living, because it's their level, I presume. I think they usually work on it if I start bringing it down, and now their area is less water than what. But once you get rid of them though, they're usually pretty much away from us all summer long. But you still have to keep track of it, and still, if there's a few in there. If it doesn't,
If you raise the lake back, will beaver dam prevent navigation of the water? Canoes going up from, or coming
you
down.
can't go through it and find what can't come down.
So there is a real reason to do this, more than just.
Am I allowed to say anything?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Is the highway department charged with protecting the infrastructure also? I mean, that can't be good for the culvert in general when it's pushing out against the sides.
Well, yeah, the wing walls on the culvert, especially on the lakeside, have gotta be replaced, and he knows that. He's talking about trying to get the same kind of wing walls you had at the new culvert by the dam. And they need to be done on both sides. The one upstream aren't too bad, but the ones downstream, one of them's already fallen, and the other one's pushing out in the middle of it.
They've been filling it whenever stormwater erodes it away. They've been
Yeah, and
coming
all
down
the
and
stuff is down.
dumping rocks on the different sides of it, so that's why I mentioned about, the highway department's real charge is infrastructure too.
Any other comments, suggestions? So I think we, I don't know if we have to vote on it, but if the Board of Health would drop a letter or contact them and see if they're that's moving, that'd be great, I'd be hopeful. And I think you have more influence than we have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if the select board could get a copy of that letter, that would be great, just because then we can put a little weight behind it too. Maybe it'll happen faster.
Thank you very much.
One other. The land to get to the dam. Back when we didn't know that, we didn't own it. In the wintertime, I used to plow from Locks Pond down to the south end of the dam for ease of getting in and out. Back in 23, I talked to Zavarua, asked him if it was all right to do it, and he said no. Well, that winter, it wasn't bad, as a, kind of warm winter, so in and out wasn't bad. This winter, it was horrible. Because, the snow, the rain, then freezing, getting in and out down there, I tell you, it was a chore just to get from the road down to the dam. What I'm wondering is when is the select board gonna do something about purchasing that piece of land? They don't need, I can show them how much we need. I think it's 35 foot wide on one end and 25 or something feet on the other end. And it's a part of the land that he really doesn't use. So,
Do you know how, if does he want to sell it? I mean, will he sell it? Are we just curious if you know?
if he does want to sell it, but also he doesn't want, the responsibility of people getting hurt on it,
Yeah,
because, so everybody's walking around, well, not everybody. But most of the people are walking along the edge of the hill, goes down to where the swamp area is below the dam, which is not really a good deal either, because if somebody falls there, now what do we do? That's the end of my problem.
yeah, thank you.
Is that something you can look at, Eric?
Yeah, I'm highlighting it on my little list of things here.
Yeah,
It's not.
but unfortunately, the last one that's gonna take a town meeting is too late for this one.
Right. Well, part of the problem this year is like we've sort of been working without a town administrator for months at this point. So it's like we're all screwed up at some level, like we're just behind and trying to figure out how to do everything. So I think now we have a new town administrator coming in as I said, in April. So hopefully this can move up the list. I guess that's what I would say, because this is the kind of thing that the town administrator would often be the one who was negotiating the contract with them to buy the land and so forth. Anyway, that's just by way of saying, hopefully this will happen quicker.
Okay,
I hope so.
we have until next winter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Any other items? Eric's got to leave in a minute or two. And, so once we lose Eric, we'll lose the forum. So, there's no other items. Let's have a motion to end the meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't think I think we are unanimous. Thank you everyone for attending and, appreciate it. So, we'll see you next month.
we'll be here. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.